Welcome! And today we'll dive into a couple of great entitled parent stories and their reactions. Coming up we have entitled Mother Wanted Police Involvement, for me wearing a dressing gown/bathrobe. Plus we have Karen expects total stranger to babysit her child, even after being told no. And finally, we're a pet sitting service lady. I just know you're gonna love these stories, so this should be a fun session. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. I do respond to every single one, so don't be shy. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some stories. Nathan5660 posted. Entitled Mother Wanted Police Involvement, for me wearing a dressing gown/bathrobe. For context, I'm a 23-year-old male who lives alone. I practice nudism when, or possible and as such, am naked about 80% of the time I am at home. So, this morning I woke up and went about my usual stuff. Still naked, I noticed that the kitchen bin was rather full. I had a rather large Just Eat delivery dinner the night before and it was utter chaos in there. Took the bag out, tied it up and threw on my dressing gown/bathrobe to take the bag outside to the bins by the road. It was crisp 3 degrees Celsius this morning, so I didn't want to be out there for long. The bins, yet again, were full. People don't bother to put them out properly and wonder why they fill up so fast. So I moved my own bin onto the pavement where they are able to be collected easily. Threw the bin bag in and was just heading back up the pathway to my front door when I hear the familiar entitled Mother. Excuse me? I rolled my eyes, took a breath in, and turned around. Yeah. Entitled Mother, are you wearing anything under the robe? Why does that matter? I know that it was done up correctly. I double knotted the tie-up thing, to make sure of it, and wrapped it very tightly around me, so it couldn't slip open in any way. Entitled Mother. Well, are you? I don't think that's any concern of yours, I'm just putting my bin out. Entitled Mother interrupting me. That means you're naked under that robe, but that's illegal. No it's not. I'm covered, so it's legal. As I turn away to open my door with my keys, she suddenly lunges up the path, and grabs me on the arm. Don't you touch me. Get off. Entitled Mother, you are naked under there? That's illegal. I am calling the police. It's damaging to children. Is it? Wearing a bathrobe is damaging to children, is it? Sure. If you don't let go of me, I will report you for harassment and violence. F off, woman, and leave me alone. I've done nothing wrong here. Entitled Mother, unintelligible grunt, scream, screech type noise that made her sound like something from Doctor Who circa the 1970s. It ended with police. So, my guess is that she was screeching about getting me in trouble with them or something, I dunno. Well, it's 8 p.m. now, no sign of the police, so unless they take 13 hours to respond. I think she was either bullcrapping, or the police told her to bog off. While being naked under a bathrobe outside is not illegal, it might be considered odd, I suppose. But I didn't see the point in putting anything else on for a 2-minute task, before being naked once I was back inside. I was fully covered up, so don't see what her problem was at all. Crazy biatches be crazy, I guess. What are your thoughts on Nathan5660's story? Please share in the comments below. Here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Junior Theory 7593 reacted with, it's not illegal. You're clothed. It's the same as wearing a dress. I don't wear undergarments, and the law doesn't state undergarments need to be worn. Traditional kilts do not require undergarments. Entitled AF. Latence reacted with, entitled Mother, are you wearing anything under the robe? Next time reply loudly so all her neighbors hear you. I will not remove my robe. I don't care what you want, I will not take off my clothes for you. I am a person, not your sex toy. My rifle is my friend reacted with, ew. You're naked under whatever you're wearing. Think of the children. Isn't everybody naked under their clothes? What a bunch of great reactions. Now on to the next story posted by Painsomnia. who posted, Karen expects total stranger to babysit her child, even after being told no. So this is a weird one. Not my story, but a friend who messaged me right after it happened to vent, because, what the actual F? Karen the entitled mother. SK the sweet kid. F, my friend. So Karen moved into the apartment next to my friend's a couple of weeks ago. Karen has struck up short, polite conversations with my friend, just 2 times in that period, with the second being yesterday, the day before this whole fiasco unfolded. This morning at about 9 a.m., while my friend was having a nice Saturday breakfast, she gets up at 6 a.m. on weekdays, so this was a weekend lie-in for her. Someone started aggressively banging on her front door. When my friend answered, Karen was standing there with a sweet kid, 5-year-old girl, who had a little backpack on. Sounding very flustered, Karen said she was sorry to have to ask this with no notice. But could my friend please watch the sweet kid for a few hours, because Karen had somewhere really important to be. Now, something you need to understand about my friend is that she can't stand kids, and has no idea how to deal with them. Like, she tenses up and gets super awkward if a kid so much as waves at her in the supermarket. My friend is also disabled. She uses a motorized wheelchair sometimes, and a walking cane for short distances, or when she's just pottering around her own home. She lives with her girlfriend, who is also her carer. Her chronic illnesses involve fainting spells, and a lot of brain fog, so by her own account, she's absolutely not someone who should be left in charge of a child. Karen has seen my friend using both her wheelchair and her cane, and has seen my friend's girlfriend, who was at work when this all happened, helping her in and out of their car. So my friend responded with a firm no, explaining that her medical conditions meant that the sweet kid would not be safe in her care, and that she's not well enough at the moment to have any guests, let alone an unattended kid, in her home anyway. Karen immediately flipped from pleading and simpering to hand-on-hip indignation, at this point, accusing my friend of faking her disabilities, because, of course, if she can walk at all, then she obviously doesn't actually need a wheelchair, right? And threatened to report her to Centrelink Welfare if my friend didn't watch the sweet kid for her. Never mind the fact that my friend isn't on welfare, lol. Her girlfriend has a high-paying job, and my friend works somewhere between part-time and full-time hours from home most weeks. She's a darn machine, and I don't know how she manages it. Newsflash. Not all disabled people are unable to work. Although, of course, getting employers to actually hire us is another matter, 'cause ableism. So my friend basically said, I'm not on Centrelink and I don't appreciate being blackmailed. Find another babysitter, because I am not it. And closed her door. Karen kept banging on the door for a bit, but eventually left. About 20 minutes later, my friend heard a very faint, timid tapping on her front door. She said if she hadn't been so close to it, she probably wouldn't have heard it. She sighed heavily, having kinda already guessed what was happening. She opened the door and there was, sweet kid, who had clearly been crying, clutching the shoulder straps of her little backpack. She said, very softly, Mummy said, I could stay here today. Now, like I said, my friend cannot stand kids, but even she said that sweet kid was an absolute darling throughout this entire fiasco, and the most she ever did was cry, because her mother is clearly a darn monster. Karen had driven off and sent the kid to my friend's door, clearly thinking that if she left my friend with no alternative, she'd just play along and babysit the kid for her anyway, especially since my friend had literally no way of contacting Karen. Wrong. My friend escaped abusive parents at a young age, and this crap made her furious. She got sweet kid settled in front of the TV, with a drink and some snacks, and called the police. Yeah, my neighbor just abandoned her 5-year-old daughter outside of her apartment, and the kid showed up at my door, asking to come in. When the officers arrived, my friend told them the full story, and while they were appalled, she said they weren't surprised. One said, you'd be shocked at how not rare this kind of thing is. Which is honestly kind of the worst part of all this. The officers took the sweet kid with them, and were really sweet with her, explaining to her that she wasn't in any trouble, and had done the right thing, and that they were there to look after her, and find out where her mummy had gone. My friend found out later that they were able to contact sweet kid's father, who is currently working on finalizing a divorce from Karen, and was also appalled, but not remotely surprised by what she'd done. Here's hoping he gets full custody of the poor kid after all this. Update. Hey guys, thank you so much for the awards and all of your interest in my friend's story. I messaged my friend asking if she had any updates, and oh boy, that was an emphatic yes. This morning, she had another knock on her door, only it was the dad with sweet kid in tow. He went there to apologize for what his ex had done, and so he and the kid could thank my friend for looking after the kid and for calling the police. She said, he seemed like a good guy who was clearly putting his kid first in all this, which was really reassuring to hear. He told my friend that, according to his lawyer, her calling the police and handling everything the way she had, would basically be a gift-wrapped custody battle win for him, because what the F kind of court would ever grant Karen custody after the crap she'd pulled? His lawyer was over the moon when the dad called him. My friend also asked the dad what the F had been so important, that Karen had abandoned her own daughter over it. You guys ready for this? It's so darn cliche. It was an appointment at a nail salon. She'd brought the sweet kid several times previously, and just demanded that the staff babysit her, and refused to even acknowledge the kid during her me time. When she'd called yesterday morning to book a last-minute appointment, cause Karen's, the staff put their foot down, and told her she could no longer bring her kid to her appointments, and would be refused service if she did. The dad also said that Karen had shown up so late to the appointment that they'd refused to see her anyway. Again, cause Karen's. So she abandoned her daughter because she wanted her me time. Getting her nails done. The dad told my friend that me time is an excuse Karen uses to ignore her kid. Basically any time she feels like it. Do not talk to me during my me time. Etc. The dad also asked my friend if she would be okay to help with his custody battle. He said he understood that her health isn't great, and that his lawyer had said a written statement would be fine. He said while it probably wasn't essential, since they had the police report, he wanted to have as much evidence on his side as possible, just to be sure. Of course, my friend agreed. Karen hasn't yet shown up at my friend's door to scream at her, so my friend's thinking maybe dealing with the police put some actual fear of consequences into her. Lol. We shall see. I will, of course, post further updates if I receive any. Mr. Potato 911 reacted with, I hope this kid's father gets custody cause her mother is crap. Like, why would you leave your kid in a huge, or small building? I can't really tell. But why would you leave your child with someone you don't know much of? It's like being dropped off with a stranger. Your parents left you with someone who may, or may not, be on drugs or smokes. I effing know, right? It's a big apartment complex, with a whole bunch of dodgy people living there too. And what if my friend had gone out, and wasn't there when the sweet kid knocked? Karen should never be allowed around the sweet kid unsupervised, again, or heck, just allowed around her, at all. I'ma hope the father doesn't give visitation rights to the sweet kid's mother cause. Oh heck no. We don't need begging from this biatch. This girl goes back to her. Nico Sensei reacted with, your friend did the right thing by calling the police. Would have done the same. A parent has responsibilities and they can't just push them onto someone else randomly. Now before we get into our final story, a subscription to the channel would be amazing. The last but not the least story, posted by Future Flux. Who posted? We're a pet sitting service lady. Okay, buckle up, this is a doozy. I work for a pet/house sitting company, and had a new client on my schedule for 3 visits a day, for 2 weeks to take care of a dog. When I get to the house, and went in, I saw a kid and thought, they must be running late leaving, and didn't let us know. So I said hi to the kid and said it's okay, don't be scared, then called out for the parents. The kid said they're gone. I asked, what do you mean? The kid then said, I needed to hurry up, and make her breakfast, and take her to school. I asked again, what do you mean, where are your parents? She said they're gone on their trip in again, told me to hurry up cause she's hungry. I asked how old she is, she said 7. I asked, did they leave you here alone? She said yeah, her mom told her we'd be by in the morning to make her breakfast and take her to school. In the afternoon to pick her up from school and make her a snack, and at night to make her supper. I asked where's Macy, made up name, the dog? She said they don't have a dog. I said when the owner came for the client meeting, and to get the house keys she met a dog. The kid said her mom borrowed the neighbor's dog. OMG. I called the company owner, and told her what was going on. Of course she was flabbergasted and came over immediately. She tried to get a hold of the kid's parents, but they weren't answering their phones, so she called CPS and explained everything when they got there. CPS took the kid, the parents' info, and left. The next day the kid's mom called the owner, and left a rambling message, screaming about how could we turn her kid into CPS and we broke the contract, so they were going to sue her for that, and also for the cost of their ruined vacation. The owner called them back and told them our agreement was to take care of a dog, not a kid. And that was illegal anyway, and also borrowing a dog for her to meet for the client meeting was deliberate misrepresentation, so good luck with a lawsuit. She hasn't heard from them since. I guess our pet sitting service was cheaper than hiring someone to watch the child properly. We still can't understand how this woman thought this would actually work. Luck of Tadraw34 reacted with, "Thank you for calling CPS. There's a few stories in here where people actually took care of a kid, dropped off on their porch, and then tried to have a reasonable conversation with the parents later. It never ends well. We weren't about to take care of that kid. The legal liability alone made it an, oh heck no. The owner was going to give the parents a chance to get someone over there within the next 3 hours to take the kid. But since they were ignoring her calls, she called CPS. Bet they wish they'd answered her calls now, lol." Nanny Angie reacted with, "Geez. I'm flabbergasted that someone would treat their child like that. Sadly, not. I have had complete strangers show up at my door with kids. I work a later shift and don't go into work until 10, so maybe they think I stay home. And try to drop off kids that the daycare across the street, which has either kicked them out, or has no room for said kid, can't accommodate. I've been half dressed or heading out to the office and gotten, hear you. Watch her. Ah no. I'll be back at 6. You were making me late. Tough jubblies. I have a job. So I slam the door or drive off. That is insane. And for all she knows, I could be a serial killer, or on parole, or something. A complete stranger. I don't care how late you may be running. You need to know darn well who is watching your kid." Well, there you have it. A perfectly great set of reactions from a bunch of upstanding citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. He must have found more stories for me to share with you. See you soon.